Crew of heathens making food and waiting the Jews. What a blessing. Roasted lamb, mac and cheese, well blended indeed. But what a dressing. Mashiach trumps loud, cloud is the soul chassis. Head of snow, head to toe, all white with the gold sashes. Flag front de Levant, punched on the old atlas. The streets of freedom, Dorica, Edom on my old mattress. Let me get this straight, you want the saints to push past your worst. White drop cocaine in our domains, they foot track the work. They hit the news and act removed from cook, crack, dispersed. And y'all grafted in with who? Book, chapter, verse. Christian Louboutins need you.
Hey, excuse me, family. Hey, y'all got a few seconds to come hear a scripture of the Bible real quick?
Go fast.
Oh, praise. Oh, praise. How y'all doing tonight? So, you believe in the Bible? All right, let me ask you a question. What's your ethnicity? What's your race? Black?
Trinidad, yeah.
Trinidad. All right, so that's two different answers, though. What could be? Right? Because black is just a color, but Trinidad is an actual place. Yeah. You understand that? So how come our people give multiple different answers? Because we'll say black, we'll say African American. You fill out a job application, you can't even say you Trinidad. So why are these things? Why is there confusion when it comes to our nationality? You know why?
I guess would be that people don't really have like a root to their ancestors, right? Some root to their past. So they go by what they've been told, which is black, native African American. Right. But people hardly are able to go back to the past and see what they're actually from.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, and I want to give you a biblical perspective from this. All right. So I'm gonna read 3 scriptures, and if you're willing to stay, all praise to the Most High. All right. Give me Job 8:8, Deuteronomy 28:47. No, I forgot the third one. Job 8:8.
The book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8.
It's like the third one was Psalms 83. Kick it out.
For it said, "For inquire, I pray thee, of thy former age, and prepare thyself to the search of thy fathers."
So in the Bible, in the book of Job, God said, inquire of the former age and prepare yourself for the search of your fathers. So like you said, we have no root in our ancestry, you know what I'm saying, in our heritage. But when we come to the Bible, God said, hey, you have to prepare yourself for this. Sometimes you have to be aware of your history in order for you to know where you're going to go in the future. You understand that? So getting a sense of knowing who you are, learning who you are, and who your people are is very important. Getting a sense of self in order for you to know how you can move things that have been in the past. You understand that? Why things are the way they are today. And you can always go to the Bible to give answers for these things, right? So the Bible said, prepare yourself for the search of your fathers. Let's go to Psalms 83.
Top?
Yeah.
The book of Psalms 83, starting at the top. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate us have lifted up the head.
Right, so the enemies make a tumult, and the people that hate us, they lift up the head. Do you think every, in terms of races and nationalities, do you think every race on the face of the planet Earth favors the so-called black man? No, right? So there are actual people that hate us as a people. You understand that? They don't favor us, right? Read on.
They have taken crafty counsel
They take
against thy
crafty
people,
counsel amongst the people. Read on.
and consulted against thy hidden one.
And they consult against the hidden ones. So there's actually been systemic oppression against our people. There's actually infrastructure set up and systems in place for our people to go from high school to jail. Our people to be influenced by certain things, grow up in certain environments in order for them not to succeed, right? These things actually exist here in America. Our people grow up with less resources and financial resources and physical resources, whether it be house, water, clothes, food, whatever the case may be, in other countries such as Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, etc. These things are on purpose. You follow?
Yeah.
So our enemies have made a crafty counsel against us, right? So let's go to Deuteronomy 28:47.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
So this is a because statement. Because, right, you don't serve the Most High God with joyfulness and gladness. Read on.
And with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So now we have to serve our enemies, which the Lord shall send against me. Watch this. It's going to go into more detail. Read on.
In hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So we have to serve our enemy in hunger, thirst, nakedness, and want of all things. So what does that mean? When you want to get something to eat, whether it be from a fast food restaurant or a grocery store, who owns these places and these resources? White people. Clothes. When we want to wear Nike, we want to wear whatever the case may be, Adidas,
New Balance.
New Balance, right? Who owns these companies? Hanes, Fruit of Loom. Who owns these companies? It would be the so-called white people. So we have to serve our enemy in these things. It says in water and in food, right? They own these things. They have put themselves, right? And the Most High God has allowed them to be in a position to where as though they own a lot of resources, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll read those three scriptures to show you that we can come to the Bible for these kind of answers, for us to know who we are as a people. You understand that? As a nation of people, we're not just black, we're not just African American. Now, real quick, before I give you the answer of who we actually are, according to the Bible, this is very important because once I see you outside of just being a nigga, once I see you outside of just being a black man, I see you as a king. I see you as Christ, my brother. You follow? Christ said you gotta look at your brother as if you're looking at Christ. For roughly paraphrasing, you understand what I'm saying? So as long as we can just continue to go by black, we just real niggas. We're not gonna make it far, man. Right? We actually kings and priests on earth. That makes sense. All right. So the Lord said, because the Lord said through Moses that because you wasn't serving the Most High God, you're gonna go through a curse. You're gonna go through serving your enemies, right? So we're gonna dive a little bit more deeper into this chapter to find out who we actually are. So let's go to verse number 15.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
So this is Moses speaking. You heard of Moses? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So Moses said, hey, it's gonna happen that if you don't listen to God, read on.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So if you're not listening to God, you're gonna go through curses. This is what Moses is saying. Read on.
Verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
This was the very first curse he said that you would go through if you're not obeying God's laws, statutes, and commandments. When you read the rest of the Bible, you're gonna find out we don't do it. To this day, we still don't do it. Right? And this is Moses. So the very first curse he said, you're gonna be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. When you think about every major city or every city in America, what people live in the cursed estate, impoverished estate? What people? Us, right? Right, us. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and even Native Americans. We live in a cursed estate in all of the cities of America, right? And this is beyond America as well, but we're gonna use America for. When you think about a cotton field, what do you think of? Think about a rice field, what do you think of? Think of Asian people? I'm gonna show you something real quick. Right, you about to learn something actually like extremely mighty, right? So check this. So this is the slave trade from the Africa to the Americas. You know this as the so-called triangular slave trade. Sugar, you know what I'm saying? Coal mining. Our people was in the field with it, man. Cursed. Chains on the neck, right? All of these things happen to us because we didn't obey God's commandments. Now, who are these people that we're reading about? Let's go to chapter 28 and let's read verse number 1.
This is the book of
You
Deuteronomy.
go to 29. Right? All of these curses and these things that we're reading about, who is the people that it actually happened to? You know.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1.
Hold on. Before I read it, let's test your knowledge. Moses freed who from Egypt? Right. So what are we reading about? There you go, right? And who is it relating to? Exactly, brother. Exactly. Go ahead, read it.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb.
So there you go. So those are the words of the promise that God commanded Moses to make with his people. So if we are aligning with the history and the things that's going on in the Bible, clearly it's us, right? So that comes with a whole bunch of stuff, man. That comes with a whole bunch of stuff. That comes from with escaping the lies that we've been taught, identifying the lies we've been taught, escaping the lies we've been taught, and then basically rebranding ourselves. You understand that? So let's go to Romans chapter 12 and verse number 1. Man, dap me up, man. Dap me up, man. Dap me up, man. All praises, man. All praises to the Most High. Right, so you do a little studying on your own? Okay, all praises. Do you go to church or something like that?
Yeah, I actually got baptized last year in July, and I just started a fake little social media jump on Instagram.
Okay.
Basically, like doing like a day in the life, stuff like that. And I talk, preach the word, all that kind of stuff. But I just needed to hear what Todd said, just respect.
I respect that.
Y'all definitely put me on. I can't lie to you.
All praises.
Yeah, you're a real humble brother in order to be able to be taught, which is something that's extremely important, right? I'm in a position where like I might be putting you on game, but these brothers teach me. You feel me? So
Well, the crazy thing is, the verse of the day too is iron sharp as iron, just as iron sharp as iron. Yeah,
Friendship.
yeah.
Right.
I hate that. I seen it on Instagram 5 times. That's how I knew it was the word of the day.
Yeah. No.
You feel me? Yeah, so I'm gonna give you this flyer though, right? I'm gonna give you this flyer and we gotta keep in contact. You live in this area?
I don't actually. I live close to DC.
Okay, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem at all.
So I think.
Can't get used to.
Yeah, we got another flyer for you too. On that flyer is an email. Just hit up that email. I send you my number.
What's your name, King?
Yeah, Joshua.
Joshua?
Yeah.
That's my name.
Sir.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
Two brothers. All praises to the Most High.
Let's clap it up for the Most High, man. Sheep right out the back. Sheep right out the back. Kind of jump in the boat, throw the line in the water. Sheep, fish right out the back, man.
That's right.
Feel me? Right, but all praise to the Most High God.
Like Ramadan. All our heroes in the bullet been no Comic-Con. Corey let me hold $1,000 Comic-Con. On my mama's son, crisis in my oil cracker. You know that cracking crackers righteous in the toil cracker. That barrel on the stick, license in the spoil cracker. Feel like you staring down a pipe of a manure cracker. So bucket play with it.